Think about last night. You were in bed, somewhere between awake and asleep, and you heard something outside. A sound you couldn't immediately place. Low, rhythmic, close. Your brain processed it in less than a second, filed it under something familiar. Wind, maybe. A car idling down the street, the house settling, and you went back to sleep. What if that was the most dangerous decision you have ever made? Because here's what nobody tells you about the sounds outside your house at night. Your brain is not designed to identify them accurately. It is designed to explain them away, quickly, efficiently, so you can go back to sleep, so your heart rate can return to normal, so you can function the next morning. Your brain prioritizes your comfort over your survival. And that has been working fine for thousands of years, because until very recently, in evolutionary terms, the things outside at night were a manageable size. In 1944, a researcher named Vic Tandy was working late in a laboratory in Coventry, England. He was alone. The building was locked, and he began to feel profoundly wrong, anxious in a way he couldn't explain, the sense that something was in the room with him, watching him. He began to sweat. His peripheral vision showed shapes that disappeared when he looked directly at them. He was convinced, beyond rational argument, that the laboratory was haunted. Then he noticed something. His fax machine paper was vibrating at a very specific frequency. He investigated, found a fan installed in the building's ventilation system, producing sound at exactly 18.98 hertz, just below the threshold of human hearing. Infrasound. Sound your ears cannot fully process. Sound that instead resonates directly with your body, your eyes, your chest cavity, the fluid in your inner ear. At 18 hertz, infrasound causes anxiety, unexplained dread, the overwhelming sense of a presence nearby, visual disturbances, the feeling that something is watching you. Every haunted house report ever recorded describes these exact symptoms. Not ghosts, not imagination, physics. The question nobody asked is what else produces infrasound at that frequency. Large animals do. Very large animals. Elephants communicate in infrasound. Whales, tigers, and, based on calculations of lung capacity and body mass, a fully grown Tyrannosaurus rex would produce infrasound at approximately 18 to 20 hertz, continuously, while breathing, while standing still, while watching your house from the edge of your property at 2 a.m., while you explained it away as wind. Now I want you to think back, not to last night, further. 3 years ago, you were in bed, different house maybe, or this same one, and you woke up at 2 a.m. No reason you could identify, just suddenly awake, heart beating slightly faster than normal. That feeling, the one you know, the one every adult knows. Something woke you. You lay still, listening, and you heard it, outside. Low, rhythmic, a sound that your brain processed and filed under truck on the highway, or wind through the trees, or the neighbor's generator, and your heart rate slowed, and you went back to sleep. What if the pattern recognition was wrong? What if your brain chose the comfortable explanation over the accurate one? Because your brain does this every single night. It is not a flaw, it is a feature, designed to keep you functional, but designed for a world where the things outside fit into known categories. Let me be more specific. 2 years ago, summer, windows open. You felt it more than heard it, a vibration in your mattress, low, regular, like something heavy moving on the ground outside. You decided it was roadworks, even though it was 3 a.m., even though roadworks don't happen at 3 a.m. Your brain didn't care about the logic. It cared about giving you an explanation fast enough to keep your cortisol levels manageable. Roadworks, back to sleep. Last year, winter, windows closed. You were awake reading, and your dog, who was sleeping at the foot of your bed, woke up completely, all at once. Not the slow, bleary waking of a disturbed sleep, the instant, full alert waking that only happens when an animal hears something its instincts recognize as serious. Your dog stood on the bed, faced the window, did not bark, did not growl, just stared. For 4 minutes. You checked your phone. You know it was 4 minutes because you watched the time change. Then your dog lay back down, and you decided it was another dog outside, even though your dog didn't react like that to other dogs.
Your dog reacted like that to something it had never encountered before, something so far outside its understood threat library that it had no response available except stillness. And you explained it away, because that is what humans do.
Here is where it gets precise. A T-Rex standing at the edge of your property at night would be almost completely undetectable to human senses, not because it is hiding, because of physics. Vision first. At night, the human eye requires a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes to fully adapt to darkness. During that adaptation period, your effective visual range is approximately 30 feet. Beyond 30 feet at night, you are functionally blind to stationary objects. A T-Rex standing still at 40 feet from your house in darkness is beyond your visual threshold. You would not see it even if you looked directly at it. Sound second. The human ear localizes sound using the time difference between when a sound reaches your left ear versus your right ear. This works well for sounds above 80 Hz. Below 80 Hz, the localization system breaks down. You can hear the sound, but you cannot identify where it is coming from. Infrasound at 18 Hz surrounds you, fills the space, seems to come from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. You cannot point to its source, even if you are standing 10 feet from the thing producing it. Smell third. Humans have approximately 6 million olfactory receptors. A dog has 300 million. We are essentially smell blind compared to other mammals. Whatever a T-Rex smells like, whatever biological signature it leaves in the air around it, you would not detect it. Your dog would. Your dog did. 4 minutes of absolute stillness facing your bedroom window in the middle of the night, and you explained it away. Now think about this carefully. If a T-Rex were observing your house, learning your routines, studying your patterns, what would that actually look like from inside the house? Night 1. You feel slightly uneasy before sleep. Cortisol slightly elevated. You attribute it to work stress. Night 3. You wake at 2 a.m. That feeling. You check your phone, scroll for 10 minutes, go back to sleep. Night 5. Your dog wakes up. 4 minutes of stillness, window facing. You check outside, see nothing, go back to sleep. Night 7. You notice you have been sleeping less deeply than usual. You blame your phone, your diet, the news. Night 10. You wake at 2 a.m. again, and this time before you reach for your phone, you just listen. And the sound is there, low, rhythmic, surrounding the room, and your brain is already building the explanation. Wind, traffic, the neighbors, but something stops it this time. Something underneath the explanation. Quiet, persistent, a voice that has been trying to reach you for 10 nights that says simply, that is not wind, that has never been wind. In 1990, Michael Crichton published Jurassic Park. The science in that novel was considered pure fantasy. DNA extraction from amber-preserved insects, viable genetic sequencing from 65-million-year-old material. Fantasy. Except, in 1993, the same year the film released, researchers at California Polytechnic State University successfully extracted what they believed to be DNA fragments from a 120-million-year-old weevil preserved in amber. The paper was published, then quietly retracted, not because the extraction failed, because of contamination concerns, modern DNA getting into ancient samples. Except, contamination in that direction is almost impossible. Modern DNA contaminates ancient samples by getting in during the extraction process, but the sequences found were not human, were not any known modern species, were not identifiable using any existing genetic database. The paper was retracted, the samples were archived, the researchers moved to different institutions. And 3 years later, a classified research program filed a patent application for a novel method of biological material extraction from resin-preserved organic specimens. The patent was granted. The research facility does not appear on any public record. The lead researcher has not published anything since 1997.
It is 2 a.m. You are awake. You did not set an alarm. You simply woke up. The way you have been waking up for the past several weeks at almost exactly the same time, every night. And the sound is there. It is always there. You have just never let yourself fully hear it before. Low, rhythmic, surrounding the room, not wind.
You know it is not wind now. Wind is inconsistent, variable. This is not variable. This is regular, patient, like breathing, like very large, very slow, very deliberate breathing. You sit up. Your partner does not wake. Your dog is already awake, already facing the window, already still, the way it has been so many nights before. And for the first time, you do not reach for your phone. You do not build the explanation. You just listen, really listen. And what you hear in the spaces between what you thought was wind is a pattern. Inhale, 3 seconds. Exhale, 4 seconds. Inhale, 3 seconds. Exhale, 4 seconds. The respiratory rhythm of something very large, something with a lung capacity that makes the walls of your house vibrate almost imperceptibly with each exhale. You get out of bed, slowly, your feet on the floor, you cross to the window. Your dog does not follow. It stays on the bed, watching you, which means it already knows what is outside, and it has decided the bed is safer. You reach the window, your hand on the curtain. The sound is louder here, clearer. The vibration moves through the glass into your fingertips, and you realize something that stops you completely. The sound is not coming from one direction. It is surrounding the house, which means it is not at the edge of the property. It is close, very close, right outside this window close. Your hand is still on the curtain. You have not pulled it back because some part of you understands something that your rational brain is still trying to catch up to. The moment you open this curtain is the moment it knows you know. And right now, the only advantage you have is that it thinks you're still explaining it away. Here is what this moment teaches you. Humans built civilization on the assumption that we understand our environment, that when something feels wrong, we can identify what is wrong, name it, categorize it, control it. But that assumption is built on a foundation of sensory limitations we refuse to acknowledge. We cannot see beyond 30 feet in darkness. We cannot localize infrasound. We cannot smell biological signatures. We cannot hear frequencies below 20 hertz. We are sensory-limited animals who convinced ourselves we were apex predators because for a few thousand years, nothing challenged that assumption. But 65 million years ago, something existed that was built for exactly this world: darkness, infrasound, patient observation, territory mapping. Sensory capabilities that make ours look like a child's drawing of a sophisticated machine. And if that thing were here tonight, standing outside your window, breathing in that slow, deliberate rhythm, you would not know until it decided you should know. Your hand is still on the curtain. The breathing continues, slow, patient. The vibration moves through the glass, through your fingers, up your arm, into your chest where it resonates at exactly the frequency that makes your body feel like something is profoundly wrong. Not wind. It was never wind. And now you have a choice. Pull back the curtain. See what has been outside your house every night while you explained it away. Or let the curtain fall. Go back to bed. Listen to your brain build the explanation. Traffic, pipes, wind. And decide that some things are safer left unexplained, because the window works both ways, and whatever is on the other side of it has been watching your house long enough to know exactly which room you sleep in, which window you always check last, and how long it takes after the lights go out for your house to go completely still. It has been patient. It has been here every night, and the only question left is not whether you pull back the curtain. It is whether, when you do, you see anything at all, or whether you're looking at the wrong window. The sounds outside your house tonight are the same sounds that were outside last night and the night before. You explained them all away. The only thing that changed is what you know now. Tell me honestly, the curtain is in your hand right now. Do you pull it back? Because every person who says yes has never actually been in that moment at 2 a.m. alone with the glass vibrating under their fingers. Subscribe, because next week
we find out what the patent covered and why the researcher stopped publishing in 1997.